Where do you see yourself in the next year as a caster? Are you going to branch out to more games or just focus in on Rocket League?
I thought you were going to ask me in 5 years. I'm like, when did this turn into blind date?
No.
It's funny. I think a lot of casters, obviously everybody wants to be on the RLCS because let's face it, there's infinitely more money involved, right?
Yeah.
But if I only ever ended up doing rival series until like the end of time, that would be just as well because I really love watching the competitiveness in the rival series. There's no safety net for them, right? Like
True.
if you lose, if you win 2 matches in the RLCS, you have a chance to win the world championship, right? If you win 2 matches in league play. If you lose 2 matches in the rival series, you don't know if you even get a chance in the promotion tournament. And that's what I love, seeing a lot of these guys who in some cases go from being relative nobodies in the competitive scene to almost household names within 5 weeks because they're just a player that nobody knew about. They come in, they pop off. Look at a guy like Casio, like Alpha, who's the other guy, Sipical in with Space Station. I mean, Sipical now, if you saw him during the DreamHack qualifiers, we'll get into those pretty soon. He looked like a god. And it's hard to believe that just a couple of seasons ago, without the rival series, nobody would know who he is.
It's great to see how it's fostered the growth of the community as a whole, especially these up-and-coming players. It gives them that path to pro, which is so important in any esport, I feel. So it's great to see that happen, and great to hear your thoughts on that, too. Last question, we're going to leave it off. Everyone always has these kind of questions whenever they talk to any caster of any sort. What is the number one advice you'd give someone starting out as a caster?
Oh, man. Broadcasting is fantastic work and a lousy business. So be prepared to put a lot of work in for not a lot in return, especially when you're starting out. Because, there are, when you look at somebody who's got no experience casting, you're a dime a dozen. And you've got a lot of work to put in to separate yourself from everybody else. And you've got to be prepared to make a lot of sacrifices to the point where, like, when you're doing this as a volunteer to start out, treat it like at least a part-time job, if not a full-time job, and show that, you really, really are dedicated to it. And you're not just saying, oh, hey, I can do casting instead of going and washing dishes at the restaurant to make money.
What are some of the PA announcing skills that you're able to bring over to the esports commentary side that have kind of enhanced your game compared to maybe some other casters?
Well, definitely learning how to project and kind of control your voice. That's something I learned in college, because when I went to college, it was for sports broadcasting, and announcing really uses a lot of the same tools, right? You learn how to project, you learn how to kind of warm up your voice and all of that, and do some kind of vocal exercises here and there. And I think the biggest difference between me now and me before going into college forever ago was posture. Like, like right now I'm kind of like hunched over and whatever, but they teach you how important posture and speaking from your diaphragm and all of that is.
As I sit up a little bit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but it's just stuff like that where they teach you like every little thing matters. And before that, it really just felt like these guys like Jim Nance and Mike Tirico, they just go in the booth and they just wing it, and there's nothing that goes into it beforehand. And then once you've actually been behind the scenes and been part of the show, you understand, there is a lot over several years that goes into what some of the top guys in broadcasting or announcing or any field have done.
So you found out that there's more of a method to the madness than how most people kind of see. Is there a method to the madness for esports commentary that you've discovered?
Basically, I've taken a lot of influence from a lot of my favorite sportscasters, and I've tried to kind of weave that into what I do with esports. But the number one thing for me, especially doing Rocket League, is just being genuine and actually caring about the results, and not just being someone who just shows up and does it because, hey, you're going to get paid to do it at the end of the day. And, when I go do like rival series or a DreamHack qualifier, especially watching some of these guys that have come up through the community, I really, really care about seeing these guys succeed. And I'm excited for a lot of them because I've seen them for so long. And
oh yeah,
and I want to share that with the viewers and try to get the viewers kind of on the bandwagon.